over 162 meters long. With 13,500 gross tonnage, this is the third biggest super yacht in the world, owned by the Russian billionaire Roman Abramovich. Eclipse was delivered on the 9th of December back in 2010, and it was once known as the largest private yacht. This vessel is built on a displacement steel hull combined with an aluminum superstructure. It's a standard approach when it comes to building yachts of this size. Steel serves for hull strength, fatigue life, and grounding resistance, whereas the aluminum is saving the top weight and lowering the center of gravity. The exterior decks are built from teak, and the wide beam, 22 meters, allows expansive internal volumes, contributing to transverse stability at rest. At this scale, the yacht's main longitudinal strength is carried by the hull girder, a steel-plated shell, and internal stringers. The bulkheads of the vessel are both watertight and structural. We can see here that the large deck openings, like the hangars and the atria, require deep girders and localized reinforcement. It wasn't an easy task to complete. The designers Blohm+Voss / Terence Disdale had to pull off a great coordination task with the structural members in order to come up with a solution. Let's not forget about the luxury that this yacht has on the interior, which further requires better acoustic and vibration control. That's why high-spec acoustic insulation and resilient mountings are used between the engine and generator rooms as well as the guest areas. The diesel-electric architecture helps with the prime movers running at preferred RPMS driving generators, while the electric motors provide smoother, lower vibration torques to azipods compared with directly geared shafts. The resilient engine mounts combined with acoustic cradles under each diesel genset, along with the floating floors, decoupled bulkheads, and elastic pipe connections, are responsible for the great mechanical isolation of prime movers and gensets. So, what about the propulsion? The concept of the Eclipse is based on a diesel-electric layout. There are multiple high-powered diesel generators that produce electrical power, which further feeds the propulsion motors, azipod / rotating pod drives, as well as the hotel loads. The primary reason as to why the builders have gone for this approach was the installation flexibility, the vibration / noise reduction, as well as the simplified mechanical arrangement for multiple engine rooms. Let's dive a bit deeper into the engineering and technical details of the azipod arrangement. The pods aren't used solely for propulsion and maneuvering. They do allow the yacht to rotate in place, something called dynamic positioning, without anchoring. It's an extremely useful tool that's primarily used in environmentally sensitive areas where anchoring is not allowed. And it's quite clear as to why the combination of diesel-electric and azipod has been mounted on a vessel like this, the dynamic positioning. The electric power allows rapid torque control of motors with large power, while the azipod units are steerable 360 degrees, giving excellent station keeping when linked to a DP controller. Electric drives are known for a very fast and smooth response for thrust vectoring compared to conventional shaft line plus CPP. As for the stabilization, the Eclipse opted out of the conventional fins and decided to go with the Magnus Effect rotor stabilizers. If you don't know what these are, they are giant spinning cylinders located under the hull. It's extremely rare to see them on yachts, but they are there for a reason. Effectiveness at anchor, which is quite important for Roman, considering he spends long periods in port or at low speed. What type of movers are used in the yacht? According to sources, there are 4 MTU 20V 1163 TB 93 prime movers, which are large 20-cylinder diesels, commonly used in fast commercial and naval applications. MTU's 1163 family characteristics are very well known in the world of super yachts: high specific power, robust marine duty cycles, and advanced fuel-air systems. When arranged as gensets, they are responsible for the ship's electrical output and do present the backbone of it as well. If we are to trust the public MTU specs, we can say that each unit puts out around 7,400 kilowatts and 9,900 base horsepower. What about the electric drive and the pods? As I mentioned throughout a couple of instances in this video, the Eclipse uses rotating azipod drives. They combine a propulsion motor, gearing, and propulsor in a steerable unit which is located under the hull. This way, the vessel is maneuvered much easier, the shaft line noise is reduced, and the hull-propulsor interaction is improved for efficiency at displacement speeds. Given its size, it's a bit challenging for the pods to be mounted, so multiple pods or a large twin pod installation helps the required bollard pull and cruise performance. The electrical distribution and redundancy are something that a yacht of this size would have a big challenge in completing, but it's far away from the impossible. Multiple segregated switchboards, redundant ring main power buses, and emergency generators sized to maintain essential hotel services as well as the propulsion controls. The diesel-electric architecture eases load sharing and allows generators to operate in their optimal efficiency window as shore and hotel loads vary. So, what does the diesel-electric power and propulsion system look like in a schematic view? You can see the clear block diagram of Eclipse here, where 4 MTU diesel generators feed the main switchboard and power management system. Power distributed to both propulsion motors, port and starboard, drives the azipods, and simultaneous distribution to hotel/auxiliary loads can be noted. But not everything is easy or approachable on this yacht when we talk about the specific details. For example, there are conflicting public figures regarding fuel tank size in open source. Multiple industry write-ups cite a range around 6,000 nautical miles, while some outlets report fuel capacities in the hundreds of thousands to over 1,000,000 liters. Of course, we have to take this data with a bit of reserve because of the variations in the public reports, and the same goes for the freshwater tank volumes, varying from 100,000 to 150,000 liters in some industry summaries. The HVAC and comfort systems are key for the yacht to operate in a tropical climate. The ship uses multiple chilled water plants with redundancy for the large internal volumes, and variable air volume terminal units supply conditioned air to suites, public rooms, and service spaces as well. Filtration, humidity, and noise control are elevated above standard commercial practice because of guest comfort requirements. The sewage treatment systems meet the IMO/MARPOL requirements. Black water treatment and oil separators for bilge water are included as well. Large yachts of this caliber implement ballast and bilge management, which are tied to the ship's integrated automation system. The chilled capacity of vessels that are the size of the Eclipse usually varies between 900 and 1,800 kilowatts, and they are often delivered as multiple redundant chillers. In practice, the architect splits capacity into several parallel modules for redundancy and maintenance without full shutdown. The water-cooled chillers with seawater condenser circuits and plate heat exchangers to the chilled water loop are placed in the machinery spaces, while variable speed chilled water pumps are also used as well. A very interesting fact about the Eclipse is that it carries a mini submarine with itself, which is capable of carrying 3 people and can submerge to depths reported around 50 meters. A dedicated moon pool or submersible hangar as well as hydraulic handling gear is also required, whereas the integration of a submarine requires dedicated and profound battery charging and launch and recovery systems, as well as separate storage and safety systems. And of course, where would this vessel be without the magnificent protection? According to the public sources, the Eclipse is mounted with bullet-resistant glazing in owner areas, motion and intrusion sensors, as well as the infamous missile detection/self-defense systems by specialist firms. There have been several reports about the presence of the camera jamming lasers to deter paparazzi during construction and trials. But if you dig a bit deeper, you'd understand that the rumors about the security of these yachts are nothing more than that, just rumors. The press loves a bit of an exaggeration story because it sells better, especially when you have a Russian billionaire as your main culprit. But the reality of the Eclipse is that there are CCTV and IR motion detectors networked through a central control room, bullet-resistant glass and armor plating in the owner's suite, and private safe rooms with independent communications. This means that the anti-missile systems as well as the paparazzi blinding lasers are just as myth as far as we're concerned. What's worth talking about to a greater extent is the safety on the Eclipse. The electronics of this vessel are demanding a bit of an extreme precaution on the fire safety side. That is why Eclipse is mounted with multiple high-pressure water mist systems and zoned gas suppression for sensitive spaces like the cinema, server room, and sub-garage. And the prospect of safety doesn't end here. Let's have a quick mention of the glass production. The windows of Eclipse are known to be one of the largest pieces of curved, laminated, bullet-resistant glass that was ever produced for a yacht. The glazing itself weighed hundreds of tons and further required custom handling rigs. If you're Abramovich, you know for a fact that you'd want a helipad on your yacht. I'd love to have it personally. The Eclipse is no shy of it, and while most people are familiar with the fact that this yacht has 2 helipads, they might not be aware that one of them is a convertible platform that lowers into a hangar. That helipad doubles down as a garage and allows the helicopter to be protected from risk factors like salt spray and storms. So, what about the inside of it? Let's have a look at the owner's deck. It's one of the most private parts of the boat where Abramovich can enjoy something that many people can dream of. With a pool of 185 square meters, gym, and a dining area, it's literally a home that you wouldn't want to leave if you don't have any particular need. The access routes to it are quite restricted. The senior crew needs to pass through some clearance points before they can access it. Apart from that, the Eclipse is equipped with entertainment rooms, such as a disco and cinema. There are some high-profile guests that Roman is welcoming here, so I assume this touch of luxury is something that you cannot avoid if you're already living in the world of the moguls. And you know that the air quality is definitely something that these sharks can complain about if they stay on the yacht for a longer period of time, which is why the Eclipse is mounted with an advanced filtration system designed not just for comfort, but also to serve as a high-quality filter for smoke, pollen, and even some pathogens. So this yacht is a beauty on its own, both from an aesthetic and engineering point of view. With everything that we've explained about it, our question to you would be, how do you rate the Eclipse from 1 to 10? Let us know in the comments below.